Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the Premarket webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 17th of March. My disclaimer, it's for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of it and learn from it, transfer to your own charts, and I'm not here to shoot trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. Right, first thing to say this morning is that we have... All right, hey, Vienna, cool. That's a nice city. It's right. The first thing to say this morning is we do have two historically bullish days this week, and they are today and tomorrow. So I'm watching this with particular interest. All the weak buy signals from Friday morning that I was talking about yesterday morning have now made the possible near miss targets. But what I would draw your attention to is we do have a series of patterns here on ES that are suggesting we might go higher. This is a potential inverted head and shoulder neckline on the ES chart. So, hang on, wait a second. I'm just putting it in the right color. All right. This could potentially break up and take us back up into about the 87.75 area. So potentially this could give us another 100 handles up from here or a little more and take us back to the daily middle band. All right, looking at NQ, we got another one. Mildly oversized here, but not by an awful lot. And this is an IHS, which again could take us back up and could potentially give us another 50 DMA test, because that is the obvious resistance on NDX at the moment, NQs. All right, we've actually got another one here on RTY. Now, I'm not saying these are going to play out, but I'm saying that we've got bullish leading tape today. The war is a fog of confusion, as it has been since it started. We have no idea whether this is going to turn into a long, drawn-out morass or finish relatively quickly, although I have to say I'm leaning towards the morass myself. But that is another IHS forming potentially on the RTY chart, and here is number 4. Hey, Doug. Right. What I'm doing is I'm just showing Doug that we've got bullish leaning tape on equities today and tomorrow, and I'm showing that we've got potential inverted head and shoulder patterns, small ones, on all of ES, NQ, RTY, and YM. Now these could break up and make target. These could, and the thing is, when you see a rally on the especially as you are widening the bands, and the bands are widening, but they're not, I wouldn't class them as really widened enough for a very big move down. But when you're widening the bands, when you see a rally, what you're really looking for is a rally to, if it's going to be a strong rally, you rally back to the obvious point of resistance. Now on ES, that is the daily middle band. On NQ, that is the 50 DMA. On RTY and YM, well, actually neither of those made the daily middle band lately, so it would be shallower than that on both of them. But we've got a potential IHS neckline here on ES. We've got another one here on NQ. We've got another one here on RTY, and we've got another one here on YM. Be aware, these could break up. In the event of this breaking up on ES, the target would basically be a retest of this high, or pretty close to it, 6,900. So that would get us back into another full test of the daily middle band. We've got positive historical stats today and tomorrow. Let's see what they can do. All right, looking at DAX. DAX, this is more confusing. Kind of looks like a bull flag, which is starting to break up. And it might be that. ESTX, the same. Nasdaq, Nikkei, which I've now updated into the June contract, looks like looks like a flag which might be breaking up, but it also, although a bit deep for a flag, but it also looks like a potential large inverted head shoulders that could potentially get us back up into a retest of the all-time high. Now, I'm not saying that's particularly likely, but I am watching it. So we will see how that goes. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Now, obviously, we've seen a decent rally off the low. We are well short of the obvious targets, but if we do see a strong rally here, there's only one really obvious target, and that is the daily middle band, which is at 68.22, which is 123 points above where yesterday closed. We shall see whether we get it. In terms of the hourly chart, no current divergence. We did have a possible RSI 5 buy signal brewing, but then we lost it and then went higher, and we've now got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing. On 15 minutes, nothing to see really. Looking at Qs, if we're going to see a sizable rally here, the obvious target would be we're pretty close to the daily middle band already, but we've been going over that. It's very obvious that the key resistance here is actually the 50 DMA. We could see another move to test the 50 DMA. On the hourly chart, nothing to see. 15-minute chart, again, nothing to see. The rally yesterday didn't really move the needle enough to get us. Now here, Dyer, obviously I was showing the possible IHS on YM. We've also got a potential double bottom here. Am I thinking that's going to play out? Not unless we get some pretty good news on the war, but nonetheless, that is something to be watching here. We've still got an RSI 14 buy signal fix that hasn't made target. Nothing to see on the 15-minute. All right, let's have a look at the IWM chart. And on IWM, again, we've got a potential double bottom here, but the second low is unconvincing because it didn't actually fully retest the first one. But we've got a little IHS on RTY. We'll see how that goes today. I wouldn't be thinking this might get closer to the daily middle band than it managed last time, which wasn't particularly close. We shall see. What I would say also is, if we had a down day today and made some lower lows, we could actually see some RSI 5 buy signals forming. But we're not close to that at the moment. All right, nothing really to see on IWM on the hourly and 15-minute charts. We shall see. Right, in terms of DAX, we've still got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on the daily chart. On Nikkei, we have the same. That is a warning of a potential rally without really an awful lot of setup to see that actual rally. We will see how that goes. All right, let's have a look at DX. DX, we had a buy signal yesterday morning, sell signal yesterday morning. That has made the possible near miss target. Could go lower, but this is just a modest retrace, and it's got us back into a test of the weekly pivot. In terms of the other currencies, EURUSD made the target on the buy signal. GBP/USD made the target on the buy signal. We didn't have a signal on JPY. USD CAD made the possible near miss on the target on the signal. Australian dollar made the full target on the signal. NZ. We've got a weak 60-minute sell. Well, that made target. We've now got a weak 60-minute sell signal fix. So it may be that this rally that we are seeing, and see also that we had this. I had this flag support drawn out on NZ, and we've come back up and we've back tested that. Not sure what that means, but that is about this potential point of resistance. So on DX, we've seen the pullback I was expecting. That this scan it could be ending right here. ZB, now here we've got another potential inverted head and shoulders. I drew this in on the chart last night, and it is starting to break up. And this would, I haven't drawn in the target for this, but I think the target would be up here in about the 115.25 area maybe, or slightly higher, possibly into the 115.30 area. But we do have an IHS which is breaking up here, and that, if it can get over and convert the weekly pivot, could deliver. ZN, no clear IHS here. We've got a 60-minute buy signal fix, and that hasn't reached the possible near miss target yet. Looking at CL, we saw some downside yesterday, but I mean we had some decent-looking IHS patterns and double bottoms across CL, HO, and RBOB, and they all made target, and we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. Has the problem in Iran gone away? No. Is there a potential head and shoulders here? Yes. There is. And I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on that today. I haven't marked in a target for it yet, but in the event that this was to play out, wait a second. Right, in the event that this was to play out, because that actually is a pretty decent looking head and shoulders here, that would have a target in about the 82.50 area. Am I thinking that there's much reason to go down to 82.50? No, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we're just trading in a range at the moment. Obviously, there is an avalanche of bullshit coming out of the administration at the moment, and obviously that is having an impact on the oil markets, as the Iranian foreign minister was noting when he was saying that actually he wasn't having any talks with the Americans. So we will see how this goes, but this is a potential head and shoulders that could break down. HO, potential little level top here. RBOB, potential little level top here. So there is scope for this to go down, even if there's not any particularly compelling reason to think so at the moment. On NG, I'm still wondering whether this IHS is going to fail. That would need a move below about 2.88. So at the moment, this is just trading sideways, not making any effort to get to this IHS target, which I've got at about the 3.61 to 3.62 area. Right, GC, we retested the low here. There's slightly oversized potential double bottom here. This looks like a short-term bear flag, setting up a retest just below at this low here, but mainly what we're watching here is a test of the monthly pivot at 49.90, and at the moment that is holding us support. SI, we went and retested the low, bear flag played out, and probably too large to be a convincing double bottom here. Palladium, too large, I think. No, actually, it's just about, but it's not a particularly nice looking potential double bottom. On platinum, pretty decent looking potential double bottom here. HG still hasn't retested the low, which is the triangle target here. So we're still waiting for that, and that target hasn't been made. All right, looking at KC. KC, seeing a bit of a rally here. Maybe the double bottom is going to have a serious crack. Getting to the target in the 308 area. On SB, we are consolidating sideways since this IHS broke up. The IHS target's only up here at about the 14.95 area, or 14.94. Could still make that, not showing any signs of getting there, but it's just a consolidation before the next move. Kind of looks like a bear flag forming on CC. Not an obvious IHS. CT had a nice spike higher. We've had obviously some big spikes higher on anything requiring fertilizer. I suspect this is one of those. This is a potential level top though, and we do have a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. Looking at lumber, we've got a possible weak 60-minute sell signal brewing. We have a nice looking little level top, but that really is much less nice now. Waiting to see if this is going to continue higher. Looking at ZW. Consolidating sideways, we had a little double bottom break up here, not showing any signs of making target. This may be a bear flag setting up a retest of this low. On corn, wondering about lower as well, although this could be a bullish triangle forming. And on soy, we've actually got a double top, which is broken down here with a target in the 117 to 120.75 area. And this kind of looks like a positive divergence, but we didn't retest this low, so it isn't. On ZL, sideways consolidation. Live cattle, I'm still wondering about a possible another leg down here. We're testing the monthly pivot, and if we're going to start another leg down, the obvious place would actually be here. HE, we're below the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot, and I'm wondering about another leg down here too. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions, of which we have none. Have fun in Vienna, George. So in that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. All right, cheers.